to the other, but I can't control how much your touch affects me, 'cause I can't recover from every new
Check. Yo, what it is. I Do But I Don't podcast episode 2. I'm your host, K.I.
And I'm your other host, Bing. Welcome back, y'all. I just want to say, first off, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in last week. Thank you for the support. It was a really good turnout.
Yes,
and
major.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep doing this.
Yes. Thank you, man. Thank you, everybody who subscribed to the SoundCloud, the YouTube, the iTunes, Apple Podcasts. We got a lot of great feedback, man. We're going to keep it going for y'all. I do, but I don't, man. So you make sure y'all stay tuned every Monday, new episode every Monday. Yeah, man, before we jump into today's topic, though, just want to find out how everybody's week was. And, Bing, what's up? How was your week?
I had a good week. I had a pretty good week. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but it is my second week back in Colorado. I had moved to Texas for a little while, so I am glad to be back. I'm enjoying my state.
Welcome back home, Bing. It's good to have you back. We got a guest here today, special guest. Real special. Tonya, how are you, Miss Tonya?
Hey, I'm good.
Good. How was your week?
It was awesome.
Awesome.
It was different. It was long. I'm glad tomorrow is the beginning of a new week.
Yeah. Last week was very festive out here in the Mile High, the 3-side Denver, man. So It was 420 this past week, and it was a good week. We had some mild weather and everything, but the week went by, man. My week was cool. Busy always. Got my hand in everything, and so blessed to see another week, and here we are. And today's podcast, we actually gonna just go right into it, man.
Hold on, wait. I have to say something real quick. Tonya, you have a nice voice on the recording. It sounds so sensual. Oh,
yes,
I like
she
it.
did.
I just
I
have
used
to
to
say
do
it.
phone sex.
Whoa.
Another episode.
That's another. Well, it kind of
1-800.
ties into monogamy, though. It kind of
Dial
does.
me now. 1-800 dial me now.
Now, I was number 29.
Ooh,
Hey,
okay.
number 29. Make sure y'all plug that in, right? But yeah, man, today's episode, man, is actually called Monogamy and Geometry. So actually, in reverse, let me go back. Today's episode has to deal with this M word that a lot of us are not familiar with, or a lot of us are never heard of, and it's called monogamy, man. And we got Tonya on here to give us her feedback and the way she looks at monogamy and how she portrays it in her life and her marriage and everything. And it's important for people to understand this word, man, especially these days, you know what I'm saying? Especially with us young people in their relationships and everything. So, we're gonna go right into it, man. The M word.
I actually looked up the dictionary. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know what it means, but Webster's definition of monogamy is the practice or the state of being married to one person at a time, or the practice or state of having sexual relations with only one person at a time. So for those of you who don't know what monogamy means, that is monogamy, and the opposite of it is polygamy. But so Tonya.
Yeah.
Do you
First off, I see your wedding ring is very pretty.
Oh, thank you, bling.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
How long you been married?
So I've been married for 18 years.
Mm.
Well, okay,
I didn't
so hold
know it was that
on.
long.
So I've been married for 17 years. It'll be 18 in July. Yes. Yes.
18.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
It's
That's
a lot.
beautiful.
It's a lot. Monogamy. It's a lot.
Yeah. Before we go right into it, plug everybody on what you got going on, that group you was telling us about.
Okay, so I am the CEO, founder of an organization, women's organization called It's Okay to Be You, IZOK to Be You. And what it is, it's a women's empowerment organization. We come together once a month, mentor each other. It's everyday women, everyday like-minded women. There's so many organizations already for battered women, homeless women, women like that. But for the woman like me that works every day, that is a wife, that is a mother, that doesn't really have the outreach to get information on investing or even nutrition, health, all that. We come together once a month and we do that for each other. So that's
that is
what
a
I do.
beautiful thing. That's awesome. I don't know about
like that.
that.
Yeah. Well, now you're back, so you can kind of, you know, get in the
Yes,
swing
I
of
will be
things.
there. That's
Make sure y'all
awesome.
look that up,
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely.
Make sure y'all look that up.
IZOK2, the number 2, BU.
Hey,
Just like that.
I like that. I like that, man. Make sure y'all plug that in, ladies. Look that up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Tonya, let's get your views on monogamy, though.
Monogamy. Okay, so let's do the definition again because you know it's kind of tricky. A lot of people really don't know what the definition of monogamy is.
Tell us.
And a lot of people are afraid of what monogamy actually means.
I know, because it doesn't seem so fun, huh?
It doesn't seem so fun, and you know, we could be we honest, right?
Right.
Okay, so I've been married for
Nice.
17 years. It has not been fun, the whole 17 years. So monogamy to me, and I'm gonna just read the definition again that we have here. It is the practice or state of being married to one person at a time. That's the easy part.
Okay.
That's the easy part, to be married to one person at one time. Okay, we can do that. Now, the hard part is the practice or state of having sexual relationships
Yeah.
with one person at a time. Now, that's the hard part because I don't necessarily look at having a sexual relationship as always being physical. To me, sexual can be emotional as well.
That's true.
So that's the hard part, is the emotional, sexual part of being monogamous. So for me, yeah, I've been married for 17 years, and I'm not gonna lie and say that I have not thought about it. I'm not gonna say that I have not even picked up the phone and called an ex or dialed an ex or something along that level, but I have not actually acted out. It does exist. Being monogamous does exist, but it's hard.
Why do you think?
I mean,
Why
it's
do you think
hard.
it's so sparse in younger people, younger generation? You know what I'm saying? Like people my age.
You know what? Sorry,
why do
but
you know,
I don't
it
even
doesn't
think.
seem fun to just be monogamy with one person, especially you know I had my days where. You know, I wasn't monogamous with one person at a time, but you know, because I didn't think too much about it. You know, just the way it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a
I
hidden
don't
word.
think it's our generation. I think it's this era, honestly. I think
Just
we
period.
could probably,
Just period.
this time
Yeah.
that we're living in.
Yeah.
This self-righteous
And I
time.
think as you get older and, you know, as you're in that relationship longer, it does get harder because you get bored. You know what I'm saying? So you start to look at what you are missing or lacking in this relationship and you look for it in someone else. And, you know, it might be one of those situations where somebody else might be looking for the exact same thing and then
Right.
bam, you're not monogamous anymore because you guys end up hooking up.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does exist, you know, young and old, but it's, you know, it's kind of like if you want to be, then you will be.
Right.
But if you don't want to be, you're not. Social
Yeah.
media
So-
plays a huge part.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, man.
Huge part
Yes.
with
So
that.
man,
Inbox
the
me.
getting bored thing, that's
Mm-hmm.
major too. Just because it can, the situation could just get dry. You know what I mean? And you start to wonder about other things. But it's always dope to find that person that you never get bored with, and it's always exciting and it's always new. You know what I'm saying?
Does that person
Does that
exist?
happen? Yeah.
Does that person exist?
Yeah.
Was it's supposed to, you know, with the person that we choose to marry.
I don't think so. I think that's where people are misled. Now, I've never been married, but you know, hearing the perspective from married people, I think, you know, the image that we've gotten in our head is once you get married to this person, everything's going to be great for the rest of your life. And so that's why when you get in a marriage and it isn't so great and it gets hard and, you know, you get bored, you don't know what to do. And it's like, am I supposed to be here? Is this the one? Because I'm bored, you know, and people aren't being honest and telling us like, you know, those times come. Boredom comes. This is how you fix this. Those temptations come. You know, I don't think you get married and all of a sudden your eyes stop working and, you know, you stop getting feelings and you stop being curious. But how do you tame that?
That's
you know?
true. That's true.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys what I did.
Okay.
So I am also, on top of being the CEO of the It's Okay to Be You, I'm also a Pure Romance consultant. And with Pure Romance, we sell bath and body products as well as bedroom accessories.
Oh,
Because you
whoa.
do have to spark and fire things up. You figure after 17 years, you're with the same person, you're doing the same thing. Let's add a little bit of heating gel. Let's add a little toy. Let's add something to it. Because if he's getting bored with me in this way, I'm going to have to switch that up. Otherwise, he's going to go looking over here. So I need to learn what it is that everybody else is doing that I'm not doing, so he won't go over there. So that's what we...
Spice it up, guys. Spice it up. Spice it up. Switch it up. Change it up.
If your spouse is not as open, like if they're just cool with it, like, when it's one-sided, when it's like, okay, I'm bored, but he's cool, or she's bored, but I'm cool.
He's not being honest, or she's not being honest with herself. It's just like with anything else. If you drive the same way to work every day, eventually you get bored. You get tired of seeing the same scenery. So sometimes you might want to switch it up and take a different route. Everybody gets bored sometimes.
Right. That's true.
And we're all human, man. We all need those different elements of the relationship, and sex plays a big part. To jump off subject a little bit, there's this book that was written called The 5 Love Languages, and have you heard of it?
Yes.
It's good, huh? And
everybody should read that.
Yes, if you're in a relationship or not in a relationship and thinking about getting in one, 5 Languages of Love, look it up, and they have like this little test that you can take online between you and your partner to figure out how to communicate with each other. I don't want to touch on it too much, but it's really dope, man. Me and my wife did it, and it was really dope, the results that we got, and they were really on. So man, y'all should check that out though. And it just shows you a different way how to communicate with each other other than sex. But yeah, when things do get bored in the bedroom, holla at Tonya for all your little connections.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, babe.
Could it just be like the sexual part that gets bored? Can you get bored like just mentally and feel like you're missing out on something, and just I think you can possibly meet somebody at work and have great chemistry with them, and that can lead to I don't know, maybe hanging out more, and then whatever that leads to whatever. But is it just the sexual, like I'm tired, I'm bored with the sex, or I'm just bored altogether? We don't do anything, he works, or we do the same thing.
Bored is bored.
Bored is bored. I think like go ahead, Tonya.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, ladies first.
Okay, so for me, bored is bored. Routine. If you are in a relationship and you guys go to work, you're 9 to 5 in it. You get off work, you come home, you cook, you clean. He gets off work, he watches television, eats, and then he goes to bed. And you do that pretty much 5-6 days a week. You're going to get bored.
Yeah.
It's not always just sexual. It's bored is bored. Period. It gets old. It gets old. So communication, there's so many things that go along with remaining monogamous. I mean, it's so deep, and we really don't have enough time today to go into all of it. But it's just deep. It could go on forever. It can go on forever. But it's mind over matter, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this is what we have. This is who we are, and we're going to do this or we're not. That's to me, that's the bottom line. We're either going to do it or we're not.
Yeah, I think knowing your partner or your spouse or whatever, knowing them like inside and out, would help with the not getting bored part. You know what I'm saying? You know how to connect with them and how to communicate. Basically, because I feel like, and I've been times where, we be rolling or whatever, we be out and there's no conversation at all. We just be chilling in our own little world, but it's just not like there's nothing to talk about or we're losing the connection, but it's just like sometimes there's nothing to say.
And that's okay, right?
Yeah, that's okay. Like, yeah.
Sometimes you need to be quiet.
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
Sometimes you need to be.
I just want to look at you. Look how pretty you are.
See, and that's it.
Today.
But okay, so let me ask this. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, because all the questions are, being thrown at me. I have a question. So do you all believe that compliments, let's talk about compliments. So when you compliment your wife, your husband, when you compliment them, is that something that you continue to do, or do you just do it and then it kind of fades out a little bit. You know, I'm getting to something. I'm getting to something. Just follow me on this. Just
For me-
I want to go. You go first.
For me, I do. I think it's something that I enjoy doing. I like to like make my man feel good and, you know, stroke his ego. That's something I enjoy doing. So yeah, I like to compliment. And you know, I can't say that I've been in a long-term relationship. So to say what I would do in the long term would be lying. So
Word.
know, years, but I mean, so far that I noticed of myself, I enjoy complimenting my man.
I like that. Stroke your ego. Ladies, keep that in mind. Stroke the ego. Stroke it well. But
Ew. Yeah.
yeah. With me, my situation, I think it's always important to compliment her. Always going forward. It's gonna always happen. It's just something that naturally comes out with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want her to never forget that I always like seeing her for the first time every day.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me tell you, women look for that.
Absolutely.
We look for that. Like how
Absolutely.
you guys, how I say stroke your ego, men look forward to, well, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but my opinion is men look forward to that, like, yeah, babe, you the man, you know, you take care of this, you do this so good, and this and that. And us women look forward to, you know,
Yes.
you're pretty, you know, you're so beautiful, and I just love when you do this, and I love how you do that. And it's not necessarily like, oh, girl, you clean that kitchen so good, you know?
This is my favorite one.
Dang, girl,
My
it's
favorite
clean
one
in
is
here.
this. My favorite one is look at you.
Yes!
Look at you.
Oh, I just felt something. It's like look at you. You know, just
you.
that speaks volumes. Look at you.
Yes.
It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
what is
look
that
at
song?
me.
Is it Charlie Wilson? There Goes My Baby?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that
Yes.
song.
I thought
right
that was
there.
Usher.
Ooh-wee.
It's
No,
Usher.
it's Charlie Wilson.
Wait,
No.
There goes my baby.
that is Usher.
No, that's okay. So see, this is the generational gap here.
Okay, wait.
So
I know
Usher
about Charlie
has,
Wilson. I know
Usher
about
has
Charlie
a
Wilson.
song, "There Goes My Baby."
Yes.
But then Charlie Wilson also has a song.
Yes, that's right. Okay, I know that.
I gotta
know
look
both
up
of them.
Charlie's. I haven't heard Charlie's version.
Charlie's is the
There
bomb
goes
too.
my baby.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, word. I haven't heard
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
heard
that's
that.
Mama's song.
Different melody.
Yeah,
But
different melody. But see,
yeah. As far as the comments that men like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really look for those type of comments. Like if I'm doing my job as a man, as a husband, as a provider, I don't have to hear it all the time. As long as I know I do it and she appreciate it, I'm cool, man.
But does it feel good to hear it?
Yeah, it does feel
baby,
good.
you get up and you go to work, and you know, I
Well,
just
going to work
appreciate
is something
you.
I'm
Thank you,
supposed to
baby.
do.
I know, but
is
Like if she loves my cooking, or if she appreciates that I took her car to get an oil change or changed her oil myself, or just a little because
or baby,
stuff
you
like
just
that.
a good man.
Yeah, you just like yeah.
or look. How about a look? Can a look be a compliment?
Look, like hey, look.
No,
Like how
a
you
look.
looking at them?
Like how you're looking at them. Is that a compliment?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
most definitely.
Okay.
You
See,
should
so
always
these are things
continue
that
to
keep
flirt
you,
in your relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. These are things that keep you wanting to be with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it all the more easy if you continue to do those things. I always say that when you're in a relationship, for me,
Yeah.
the emotional versus sexual, when you talk about monogamy, is you can go out and have sex with Peter, Paul, Jackie, Sue, whoever you want to, and not see her again. But when you're connected to somebody emotionally, that's deep. You
Yeah.
can't just forget about that person. It takes a little while for you to forget about that person.
Right.
Yeah.
So on monogamy, emotional. For me, it's more emotional than it is sexual.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I
it
have
is.
toys, so I can do what I got to do. But I'm just saying, it's more emotional than it is sexual. And if you can connect with your partner on an emotional level, you guys are connecting, communicating, and all of that, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
I think the emotional part is way more heavier than the sexual part when it comes to being monogamous with one person.
Yeah.
Once you got that emotional connection, it's dope. You locked in.
It's
locked.
locked.
You know what
And
I'm
then
saying?
I think that gives you guys the ability to even communicate with how you're feeling. Like, babe, we got to switch it up. Like I'm tired, I'm bored. But I think a lot of people don't have that communication, or maybe
that's a big
Mm-hmm.
one, man. Learning to communicate. That's probably another whole episode.
Yeah,
but,
and then not being offended
yes.
when they're honest about, like, look.
Where you slacking at? Look,
That's
Yeah.
major.
Slacking. You
That's
slacking right
major.
here.
Yeah, I feel like if I can't tell you, who can?
Right.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, if
I
I
need to
can
know when
say-
I'm slacking.
Absolutely.
Ladies, let your man know when they
Absolutely.
slacking. Fellas, same way, man. Communicate. Like, look, you need to, fix this right here. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna fix the problem. If you don't, you're just gonna
That's what
continue
it
to stress
is.
about it. You know
That's
what I'm
what it
saying?
is.
And let's be absolutely honest. Everybody who's having sex is not married, and so
Well, and everybody that's married isn't having sex. Well,
what do you do about that?
that's a whole
you
nother.
know
That's a whole
what?
nother
This is what I was going to tell you guys. So, when I worked at the hospital, I met this older couple, and they were so cute. They were in their late 80s, and they just looked like love. And I'm like,
Look like love. That's
yes, it was beautiful. And he was so flirtatious with her, and she's just like, men like to chase, and she's still playing the little, and he I think they had been married 50 something years, and he still called her his girlfriend.
Wow.
And he's like, ain't she fine? That's me. That's my girl right there.
That's love.
Yes.
That's real love.
Yeah, that's dope,
That's real
man.
love.
Yeah, it was just so cute. And she's like, he's just crazy. And he's all grabbing on her. He in the hospital bed,
Yeah.
sick, grabbing on his wife / girlfriend.
Nah,
That's the way
it's
to do
dope
it.
when you're in public
That's the
and
way
you
to
see
do
that,
it.
man. Because you really don't see that much. I don't know. Speaking in my situation, man, me and my girl, man, we love to show affection. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We don't go too hard in public, but it's just like we do it. And when we're out, and I be looking. I don't really see people, that do it much a lot. Or
Holding
whatever,
hands.
yeah, holding hands,
Yeah.
or you ain't gotta be slobbing up and everything, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just,
What about grabbing butt?
I grab butt in public. I'm grabbing. Yeah.
We don't do that.
You don't. Do you
We
guys still
touch.
hold hands?
We touch. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we
Not
do.
like
You kiss in
too
public?
much.
We do.
Not too much.
Well, we-
not
you
too
know, we
much,
don't
but I
do-
grab.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you were younger,
It's secretly.
did you
secretly.
you did all that? Yeah. So when you get older, is it just like this is not appropriate?
It's not that it's appropriate, but there's just a way to
There's a way to do it.
You know,
Yeah, I'm not
there's
just
a way
like
to do
grabbing
it.
ass, just like
Yeah, because
Look
I mean,
at me,
honestly,
everybody.
when I was 20-ish, or let me see, I got married when I was 29 or something like that. But when I was that age, yes, grab my butt. I love it. Touch me, and everywhere you want to touch me. But now it's like he can do other things. He can touch my neck. That right there, that's my butt nowadays. Is just touch my neck.
I like when they grab
or
the back
just,
of the neck.
just touch me in different ways. That gets me. So I think as you get older, it's not the same
changes.
things.
Yeah.
The
That
things
makes
that
sense.
used to turn me on don't turn me on anymore. Now it's deeper than that. Again, it's that emotional connection, because a lot of people, you come, you touch somebody's shoulder or something like that. They're like, what the hell you do? You touch my shoulder? But for me, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
touch me.
That's dope.
So
That's
it's
dope.
Okay, I want to go back to sexual relations and not being married. What do you guys think about being monogamous and not being married? So just
It's
the
like
practice.
dating, basically,
Yeah. So
with one person.
a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, I'm not married," and they sleep around. What are you guys?
This is 2017. That's it.
It's been going on for a while.
That's it. That's my comment.
Yeah.
So what? Do you feel?
Sleeping around multiple people?
Yeah, you have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You got a girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend, and you're
you living together, all that, blah blah.
you're not living together, but
You just have a girlfriend.
yeah,
Okay.
you should be committed to her.
To one person,
Otherwise, why are you calling her your girlfriend?
Okay, but you're being monogamous with other people.
Not
No,
monogamous.
you're
sleeping around.
Yeah.
You're spreading your monogamy around.
Yes. You're
Okay,
spreading
you're sleeping
yourself.
around. There's no monogamy involved in that.
Right.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah. Do you feel like, oh, if you're not married, then it's cool?
Nah, hell nah. That ain't cool. Cause what if she was doing it to you? Or what if if somebody did something like that to me? Ugh.
Yeah.
I
It's
wouldn't know
not
how to.
cool, but
I
it
wouldn't know how to
happens,
swallow
though.
that. It's not cool, but it happens.
happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what?
I'm not gonna say I never did it.
So in your mind, what made you had a girlfriend, what made you want to go out and sleep with somebody else?
The excitement that I can do it and get away with it.
Ooh. Ding, ding, ding. For me, You didn't ask me, but I'm a pipe in. For me, it was the chase.
The chase.
When I was younger, I'm telling all on myself. It was the chase. It was being with this person, being able to go and be with this person and him not know, and the fact that, I might get caught, but I haven't got caught yet. I'm going to do it. And it's the chase. It's a game. It was a game to me.
It all is a game.
When you're living doing that, man, is really, you have to be, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make moves like that when you have a girlfriend and you have side pieces, basically. That's what we call them nowadays. And we're going to do an episode on that, plug in. But yeah, side pieces, man, it takes a lot of work because you got to give time to all of them equally. You know what I'm saying? And give time to her.
Well, no. What if they know you have a girlfriend? They're just down to sleep with you.
Yeah.
I just want to know what makes you want to step outside of your relationship. This
curiosity.
Okay. And
curiosity.
So once that curiosity, once you've hit it, like boom, okay. Do you
curiosity is a drug.
You want to keep doing it?
To a certain point,
until you get caught.
Until you get caught, or until you feel like, damn, this is wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that damn, this is wrong don't usually come until you hit a maturity level in life and you start to respect the idea of a relationship.
So is it a sense of fulfillment? Does it feel like it's fulfilling at the time until you're caught? Or what is it?
I don't think it's so much that this is wrong. It's not, for me, it wasn't, this is wrong. For me, it was, this is better. So, yeah.
It was better to...
It was better. And
so then at that point, do you leave the person you're in the relationship with?
At that point, it turns into more of the emotional, because before it was sexual. You're with this person and then you have sex with this person and it was good and you're thinking, now I want to get to know this person. So you kind of end up pushing that one aside and now you're with this one and you kind of get connected emotionally now. So I don't, and women and men think so different.
Yeah, when it comes
we are so different.
Everything,
yeah.
And I feel like when you do that, when you have someone and you sleep with other people, it never really ends well. You know what I'm saying? In most cases, it never really ends well.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just, something's gonna happen.
Is it because you're thinking this is gonna be quick, and then she's thinking
it's a volcano waiting to erupt? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's just a volcano waiting to erupt. Either okay, she knows I got a girl at home. She knows and she knows, but they cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I give them this and they're cool with that.
They're give them cool a little with time it for how long?
Exactly. They're cool with it for how long? Until they start catching feelings.
Until they start catching
feelings.
In love.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The woman's what's the word I'm looking for? The way how women love tends to happen faster than men. They get attached easy, especially when sex is involved.
Yes, our hearts are attached to our vaginas.
Yes, because he loves me because we had sex.
Yes.
Exactly. They think that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's, as much as you try to separate the two, you can't. I don't think, because, I don't believe that we were created to just be out having casual sex with everybody. Does it happen and it's a hard temptation to fight? Absolutely. Yeah. But I think, another part of it, like Tonya said earlier, it's all in your mind. And me reading on monogamy, a lot of the stories that I read was that, it's not, it doesn't line up with human nature, and it's not possible for human beings to be monogamous. And I think that's bull. I think that that's us being self-righteous and doing what we feel is comfortable. It's hard to fight the temptation, and so we might as well say this is how we're supposed to be, because it's easier to just do what we want to do than to do what we know is the right thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible. Like you said, it's just hard.
Yeah, for somebody really who wants to do it, you can do it, and once you make up in your mind, then
when you know better, you do better.
Absolutely, yes.
We don't always do better when we know better, but that's the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That is true. That's
the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, so I had this this theory that
The geometry part?
yeah,
Of
the
monogamy.
geometry
Break
of
it down.
monogamy.
Do I need to
everything.
take notes?
I don't know. It's not a
Okay.
published theory. It's just my theory.
Okay.
How I look at monogamy. So I said that, you know, in a relationship, geometry plays a part because ideally, you know, you got to get from one point to another with your significant other. And with geometry, it's lines, shapes, points, you know what I mean, in the math. And I say the starting point of a line, you got the point right here. That's the beginning of a relationship, learning about each other, learning to communicate, getting to know each other, you know what I'm saying? And before the line starts basically this journey of the relationship. And to get to that next point, you have to learn how to be one with another. You know what I'm saying? And this line can stop and go, and it can take a pause, you know what I'm saying? Or basically, you know, you don't want to get to the point where there's other lines crossing your line, because then it gets invalid. You know, the equation is done. So
That's deep.
basically,
That is
Deep.
deep.
yeah, so to get to that next point and to complete the line of monogamy, you know, you just have to learn to love each other inside out, overdose on each other, man. And that's where I plug in my little thing that I got going on. Well, my big thing, ODO, TGL, overdose on that good love. And basically it's just the meaning behind it is just to overdose on what you love in life, whether it be, you know, what you do or who you with, but to the point where there's no return. You know what I'm saying? When you overdose on something, there ain't no going back on that. You know what I mean?
That's so deep.
Yeah, that is.
That's
Overdose
really
on
deep.
something good if you gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm
Don't-
really sitting here with my mouth open because how you just explained the whole line and
Yes.
symmetry and perpendicular and all that.
Yeah.
That's really
So
that's
it's
good.
two lines coming together to make one line to reach a point.
Yeah, but then at some point there's a line that goes like this,
Yes.
and that just intercepts the whole thing, because
I mean,
a
you
lot
gotta
of
start
times when
over.
you're going straight, well, not necessarily start all over, but a lot of times you end up going on this line and then the line crosses and you go to the left.
Yeah, that can happen.
That's,
That can happen.
Yeah.
And this line don't necessarily have to be long. It can be, you know, some people get to monogamy quicker than others. You know what I'm saying? As long as you get there, man. Like
Right,
there's nothing
Marvin,
beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful
This
than
is where Marvin started, all the way at the bottom of the page.
Started from the bottom.
He's right here.
my line is long.
It took his whole life.
Wow. Okay, so I have another question. Just because, you know, you guys are actually, I know that I'm here as a special guest, but I'm learning so much from listening to the two of you talk about this. It's kind of funny because I can kind of be your mama. But anyway, I have a question.
Okay.
And the question is, at what point, male view, female view, at what point in a relationship do you decide, or have you ever thought about, okay, you know what, this is going to be the one and I'm going to remain monogamous for the whole relationship? Is that something that happens, or you just kind of take it one day at a time and see what happens from there? I mean, because when you get married, it's like, till death do us part, you're going to be the only one I'm going to be with.
So when does that
Yeah.
till
who wants to
break
go
up do
first?
us part? You can go first.
Why, since I'm the married one?
Yeah. Well, no. She's saying, not speaking from a married perspective.
Just
right?
male view, female view. Like, I just want to know at what point, like, so when you're dating someone, okay, and you know, you decide that this is going to be the person that you're going to be with, you guys get married or whatnot, I need to know, do you make a commitment to yourself that you're going to remain monogamous for the entire relationship, or is that
yeah.
just something that,
Yeah.
because we always say we're going to do some stuff,
Yeah,
but then,
yeah.
you know, when you get mad, then, you know.
Yeah, I promised
something else.
myself first before
That's what I was
promised
looking
her,
for. That's what I was looking for.
that I was gonna stay true to her and just only her. I had to promise myself first, you know, because like Sabrina said, I had a journey. You know, this is my sister. She know me. Like, you know, she know I don't play when it comes to the opposite sex. And
Vulture.
vulture. More like a wolf. But I promised myself first, man. It was important to me that
Yeah.
I have an understanding that, okay, look, K.I., you know what you're getting yourself into. You know what you're going to commit to. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
And
do it.
you
And I
know-
felt like I was at the point in my life where I can finally accept that.
Yeah.
5 years ago, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. I'm
I
glad
know-
I didn't meet her
look, I
5
know
years
that
ago.
one.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would have brought.
We
it
wouldn't
to the
have let
ringer.
you 5 years ago.
No, I wasn't ready. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with age. It's just experience. You know what I'm saying? Just experience and the just going through things and, you know, being in situations, getting heartbroken and, you know, getting back up, putting the pieces together and just the idea when you meet someone, you're taking time out of their life and you're merging them with you. You know what I'm saying? And like everybody has a life ticker. You know, you don't want to play with anyone's time. You don't want to bring them in and waste their time. And,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all have a life ticker. So just be recognize what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? When you're out there involving people. But yeah, so I think it's important to make a promise to yourself, which I did with me, and then I promised her.
I think that's good because you made up in your mind first.
That's it.
Yeah.
You made
That
up
is
in your
it.
mind first, and so you were able to commit to it. And you know what? It's funny. I had talked to this guy before, and he told me, like, we had been talking. I'm like, oh, I like him. He told me straight up, like, look, you're a great girl. You know, you're gonna be a great wife. But if we get together, I'm not gonna be faithful to you. And I'm not ready. And so I'm like, boy, whatever. Yeah, right. I wish you would. Like, you can do it if you want to. And so it became me trying to convince him.
Yeah, 'cause
when
he told
had
you?
already made up in his mind that wasn't something that he was going to do. And so I continued to talk to this guy after I'm like, well, you know, if you want to be.
So you gave him permission.
No. I thought that I thought I was giving him another option. I'm like, well, you think that this, you know, you act like you have no control over it. If you're like, I'm this awesome and you want to be committed to me, you can do it if you make your mind up to do it, you know? But he had already made his mind up not to. And so he's like, yeah, you know, I guess I never tried it. I guess I never tried to be faithful. I'm just like, this is what
That's
I
what
do.
he told you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, and
So
so
she gave him permission, basically. He
No,
told you
I-
that this is what it was going to be, and you're
And I
like,
was
still
like,
in the
no.
relationship.
So you gave him a hall pass.
No, because I wasn't
that's
like, well,
what-
that's cool. That's what's up. As long as you told me. I was like, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. And he's like, I never tried, so I'm going to try. Him trying, you know, so I'm like, all right, he ain't going to do it. Not to me, he won't. You know, that's where I messed up. And so we talked for a little bit, and he did end up, you know, talking to somebody else. And I'm just like, well, you know what? He told me. He had
told
already
you.
made up in his mind, even though we sat and had the conversation after, like, it doesn't have to be that way. And he's like, oh, well, you know, let me try it then. So I became your experiment. That didn't work.
So you gave
but
him
I allowed
permission.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would say I gave him permission. I just thought I gave him another option. But, you know, you can't change a man's mind. You can't change nobody's mind if it's made up. And that's why I said it was good that you made up in your own mind. It wasn't
First.
her trying to convince you like, hey, you can do it. You better do it. Don't do it. You know, you made up in your own mind. It was something you wanted to do, and that's why you were able to commit to it.
Yeah, and that's the first time I ever done something like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it felt good, you know? It felt like it was real.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It felt genuine that I had that come over me like that. And,
Yeah. I
so-
think that's the first start. And getting back to Tonya's question, when do you decide that you're going to be monogamous with
I
somebody?
guess it's more a feeling. You know, when do you feel like, you know, like he just explained, like it's a feeling.
I feel like for me, I mean, I think we all have different temptations and you know, struggle with different things. Sex was never really one of them for me. So I was never like, oh, I just want to see what's out there. I just want to this or that. And so I feel like if I gave my body to you, that's it. It's gonna be all you until we end this, you know. And as long as I'm committed to you, as long as I feel like, you know, this is me and you, then it's me and you until I tell you it ain't no more. And at that point, we're not together. So, but I've heard, you know, a lot of my girlfriends, or I wouldn't say girlfriends, girls that I've talked to who are around my age, they're like, oh no, girl, he's cheating, and you know, he don't know that I'm gonna get him back though, and that's never.
Damn.
Wow.
Seriously?
Wow.
What?
What the?
Girls,
That's another topic too.
Whoa.
That's deep. Yeah.
yeah.
Please don't ever get me like that.
It happens, and I don't think, you know, I think
gonna get
guys
him
don't
back,
expect
though.
it. So yeah,
I don't think, us guys don't announce it to our fellas Yeah, man.
No, because it's just something y'all are
That's
doing.
you know what? That's because y'all don't tell it. If a
Yeah.
girl,
I
if a
keep it to
girl
myself.
gets
If
you,
I'm gonna
yeah,
do something,
absolutely.
I'm gonna know.
It's not a
that's a male
payback for
thing.
y'all. It's not like, oh, I'm about to get her back. It's like, I'm just about to do it. She like, oh, you doing it, and you don't know that you get.
The relationship get like that, I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's just a headache. If I know that she's doing something and I'm
You don't
doing
know
it,
though.
oh, I don't know.
You don't
Ooh,
know.
That is just
You don't know.
Okay, so he doesn't know, but
7
everybody
o'clock
else knows.
news.
No, it's not even
Okay.
everybody else. If she's just, talking to her girlfriend or something, I don't know. Her close girlfriend's like, oh yeah, but say she's fed up.
Fed
Like
up,
he's
yeah.
been doing it. She's fed up. She's like, I'm sick of this. But she don't want to leave him, so she just goes sleep with somebody else, and that makes her. I've heard of that a lot.
Yeah, that happens.
It happened to me.
That
Yeah,
happens.
It
yeah.
has
So
happened to me.
that's more so what I'm talking about. She just gets fed up and she decides to go sleep with somebody else. And my perspective is if I'm fed up to that point, I'm just going more than one D at a time. Mm-mm.
I think it's easier said than done. I mean, we can
Put me in a long-term relationship.
we could give advice on all kinds of different things, but until
Uh-huh.
you've actually been through it, you really never know,
You know what?
you would do.
And Maya Angelou said, if you're human, never say that you wouldn't do something that another human being would do.
That's true.
So it was something along those lines. I'm not going to quote it exactly like that, but that's what, the gist of it was. Never say that you wouldn't do something that another human being would do.
That's very true. Yeah.
Because you don't know where you can get mentally.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will say,
You never know where you're gonna be at in a relationship and what you might do.
never say
what you're
never. I done did a
capable
lot of things I said I would never do. And I'm
think
not saying
we've
all
all
like
been
I ain't
there.
never said
I
I ain't
think
would
we've all
never do
been
nothing.
there.
I just did it.
I think we've all been there.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets like that
Yeah,
commercial.
no regrets. No regrets. I just did it.
We've all been there. We've all
Yeah.
done some stuff that we're not proud of, and some stuff that we said we'd never do. But guess what? We did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
And you learn from it. Shoot, if you're going to do it, learn something.
Well, some
Ain't
of
no
us
point.
still do it.
Yeah.
And
When you're
others
done, I
have
hope-
learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah.
point going.
On the flip side of this, real quick, I don't mean to cut you guys off, but something just came to me on the whole level of monogamy, and I was just thinking about talking to some of my girlfriends, and in their relationships, because I have a lot of girlfriends that are in relationships that aren't married,
Yeah.
but they've been in the relationship for years. They're
I got
common
something to
law.
touch on that too when you
They're
get done.
common law. So a lot of them say, well, you know what, girl, I'm not with nobody else, or, I'm not going to do this or do that. But, right now I ain't going nowhere though. 'Cause I'm just comfortable. It's just good. And I'm like, so you would choose to be comfortable in a relationship, monogamous in a relationship kinda, versus leaving the relationship? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of, on that. So they say, yeah, I'm monogamous. I'm just with him. But are you really just with him if you don't want to be with him? You know what I'm saying?
They just don't know
Are
how
you
to
even
leave.
there?
They just don't know how to
They're
leave.
just
But at the
comfortable
same
because they're just
time, they
used to that
claim that their
person, yeah.
relationship is, well, I'm just with him. But I'm like, you're not really with him,
Right. Right.
So
that is true.
I
That's
know,
really
but
true.
I
I think I
see-
have the same
yeah.
conversations with women my age. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
I've known people that been in situations like that where they just comfortable with
just
that certain
comfortable. But
person.
they don't
yeah.
want to leave.
And they don't even look
They
happy.
don't leave. Well, the rent in Colorado is high, so it's good. We just roommates. Really?
Right.
But
It's
they're
an
but
excuse.
they're
Never.
monogamous though, because
Yeah.
they're just with that one person. So
It's an excuse. Yeah.
Now, to touch on that, when you say your friends, how many of your friends around you are married or in a relationship?
yikes. Probably I'll just give maybe 10 friends, and probably out of the 10, I'd say 6 of them are married.
Okay. Now, with your husband's friends, how many of them are married or in a relationship? Do you know, like off
I
the top of your head?
do. His close friends.
Yeah.
Probably, I can only really name maybe 1 or 2 that aren't married out of a group of maybe 10 friends.
Okay. Now, how do you feel when he hangs out with them 2 that aren't in a relationship?
I'm okay.
You're okay.
Because, the one, I'll just speak on the one. The one that he hangs out with, for the most part, that's my brother.
Yeah.
And I talk to him about
That's your dog,
different
yeah.
things. Yeah, I can talk to him and be like, hey, you need to talk to him because he's tripping. And, we sit down and we talk about it. So I totally trust him when he's with him. Now, some of his married friends that he hangs out with, ask me, do I trust them?
Do you trust
Ask
them?
me, do I trust my husband when he goes out with them?
Yeah.
Now, I trust my husband because, we just have that level of trust. But no.
Okay, and with that, I feel like certain women just, from my experience, I feel like certain women don't like you, when you're in a relationship, your girl don't like you hanging out with your single dudes, your friends, going out with them or whatever, just because they don't feel comfortable with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust you hanging out with them, I'm like, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make my own decision. I think a lot of women think that your friends push you into a bad direction when they're not in a relationship because they don't know how to respect it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They think that they push you to do dirt or cheat or whatever.
I don't
you know
see.
what I'm
I
saying? Or they
don't.
force
I
it on
don't think
you.
that it.
I don't think that's true. So can we just X that out? I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Based
true.
on the
at all.
Because you know what? Because you brought it up, so we about to go here real quick. So
No, I'm saying, can we X out that idea that everybody
Single.
makes their own decision?
everybody makes their own decisions, and I feel like if a female does not trust you when you are with your friends, be it married or single, it's not an issue that she has with you. It's an insecurity that she has with herself. Word. For me, with my husband hanging out with some of the married men that he hangs out with, I know what they do because I've seen them do what they do when their wives aren't there. So that's a whole nother trust thing, and I believe that if they put him in a room if there's 5 of them and there's 10 women, they would probably try to push my husband in that direction. But because I know him, he wouldn't go that way.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, I feel like when you have a woman who has an issue with her boo going to hang out with his single friends, it's like, okay, who hurt your feelings?
Yeah, and just to be clear, I'm talking about a past situation, not my situation now, because my baby good. You know what I'm saying? She trusts a nigga when I'm out. But yeah.
But I mean, let's talk about the female going to hang out with her single friends. Because 9 times out of 10, when I go and I hang out with with my friends, it's pretty much the single ones, because the married ones are, doing family stuff or whatnot. So I believe that my husband trusts me, right, babe? When I go and hang out with my single friends, I just believe that he does, because I'm not going to do anything that is going to embarrass my husband,
Right.
or that is going to come back on me.
There it is, right there.
And put me in a face of shame or something.
Because
That's
when you
not what I'm
out by
gonna do.
yourself, you represent both of y'all,
I
right?
Right,
represent
men
both
need
of
to
us.
remember that too, because
Absolutely.
y'all seem to forget that there
Absolutely.
seems to be some type of double standard.
it.
Don't have your woman out here looking crazy. Shouldn't nobody be able to come up to her and tell her anything about her man? Just
That's right.
and vice versa. But
That's right.
let me say about the single friends, because I think it could be, depending on who the person is, a single friend, I think, might be better for a married person, because they kind of look up to marriage. If you're not married, then it's like, you're out with the married guy.
If it's the right kind of marriage,
If it's
though.
yeah. If it's the right kind of marriage, but say I'm single and I'm out with somebody married, and they're like, "Oh, girl, he fine," or something. I'm like, "Girl, ain't you married?" And so you feel,
But I could look and tell you, girl, he's fine.
Okay, well, not that, not fine. Your eyes still work, but
Something like
oh,
if
I want
she's
to take him
trying to-
home. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Like, okay, don't, and it's probably more so with men, and I don't know if they do it, but encourage them not to, remind them that you're married, and they're like, oh, they're looking, this person's still looking up to marriage, and so they hold me to this standard, and so when I'm out with them, I want to represent marriage good, depending on the person. So I feel like almost having a single friend, it wouldn't always be a bad thing if they're a real friend.
Yeah.
It just depends on the person too, because I have single friends that are yay and nay.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, I've been out and somebody may, with my ring on, a guy may come and approach me, and I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, it's good, but this is my friend, and yeah, this is my friend, though, and yeah, this is my friend, and they still don't get it, but then she mad at me because, well, girl, you married, how you gonna try to, I'm like, I'm trying to get him, so it all depends on the person, it really does.
I think, because when I'm out with my dudes, man, I do me and they do them, and we all have a good time. You know what I'm saying? They single, they do their thing and, you know, get at women or whatever and exchange numbers and stuff. But
if you gonna do it, you gonna do it.
yeah, you're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it no
yeah.
matter who there. You know, you can say it's influence or whatever. If you're gonna do it, your mind's made up. You're gonna do it. If you're not, then you're not.
Exactly.
Yeah, can't nobody make you do nothing.
Yeah.
Realistically, nobody can.
Right.
So, man, monogamy, man. There it is in a nutshell. And that's not even like all that we can touch on today. But, you know, I think we got enough of it down. We got our theories and ideas off of it. And, Tonya, we want to thank you, man, for coming through, man.
Me.
Yes,
Awesome.
We got some good stuff from you today.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you.
Good stuff.
I learned from you all as well.
Awesome.
You guys have you have to have me back.
Yes, of course.
On some
Oh,
more
yeah,
other,
yeah,
some
most
more
definitely.
other, because you know.
Yeah, 'cause we could go on all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we gonna have a conversation off mic.
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely, man. And yeah, man. So thank you everybody for listening. Once again, this podcast is brought to you by Live City Sound, live. And make sure you tune in on SoundCloud, YouTube for the video experience, and Apple Podcasts. And for you Google users, I'm sorry we're not on there, but soon for you Androids. But yeah, man. Thank you guys, man. It means a lot, man. OD on that good love, man. Make sure y'all have a good week. We out.
Till next week.
Bye.